friends. Like you, I was kind of stuck in the house most of the summer because of the pandemic. Didn't really go anywhere or do a whole lot. And that gave me time to work on my art. So if you've been to the website, on the banner, you'll see some close-ups of some abstract paintings I did on the website. Also on the website, if you haven't been there, there is a contest. There's a link to a contest you can check out. It's the Farm to School contest and lots of other things to explore. So if you haven't been to the website yet, maybe go explore it. Since today is a holiday, Monday is your art day, but I know a lot of you are probably going to come see what's going on in art anyway. If you're one of those people, today's lesson is optional and it's something just for fun. I'm going to talk a little bit about other things that I've done this summer. I am a lifelong learner, and when it comes to art, I like to learn a little bit about everything. And so I can teach you a little bit about everything, or as much as I have time to. So this summer, I started learning about caning. And so I've been making jewelry with beads and things lately, and learning about using polymer clay and caning in particular was really exciting to me, and so I'm going to share that with you. This is not something you have to do. If you want to try it out, I'm going to give a quick demonstration of a simple cane, or you can see somebody who is a master at creating canes and what he does with them on the other video link that I've provided. So what is a cane? This is one that I made last night. I'm just going to unwrap it and show it to you. So if you look at it on this side in the front, let me get that where you can see it. Okay, that's the design, and you cut little slices of it. If you've ever made cookies, sometimes you make cookies that way. You make a bar and then you cut slices, and then this is sort of the bar. And the bar could be round or square or some other shape. This one happens to be square. And in the video, you'll see somebody working with a square cane and what he does with it. Okay, and then, so this one I just made it, so I haven't really done a whole lot with it. But some of the scrapped ends, when you're making it longer, they get a little wonky. So I used some of those scrapped ends and made a little heart, and I just put it on a little form there. And then under that, this is the very, where is it? There it is. The very first cane I ever made. I don't know if you can see it. I rolled it out and made it smaller. So what's interesting about the canes is you can take this and stretch it out and make it smaller, and you'll see that in the video of the artist. And you can see how he does that. Now, what I'm using is polymer clay. And if you don't have polymer clay, modeling clay works. The only thing is modeling clay, it doesn't harden. Polymer clay hardens in an oven. If you have other air drying clay that's different colors, you can use that as well. But I'm using polymer clay. So there's different brands. There's Sculpey and Fimo are probably the easiest to find. And I just have sheets here. Okay, and so I roll them out. If you're using polymer clay or even modeling clay, it starts off really hard. You have to warm it and work with it, and then it softens up. So I just softened these up not too long ago, so they should be ready to go. So the way to make a cane, if you've ever made snakes with clay, that's basically what you're doing. So I'm going to do what's called a bullseye. And if you want to try this, you can get your own colored clay and give it a try. So I'm going to take this red, and I'm just going to get a slice of it. So I have a knife here that I slice with. It's really sharp, so I have to be extra careful with it. And I'm going to go ahead and roll that. Into a little snake, and I'm just going to put it right there. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is take some of this yellow And I'm going to put that snake that I just made, let me even it out. The snake's a little lumpy. I'm going to try and keep things kind of even. And I'm going to put that on the edge of my yellow. And I'm going to cut the yellow so it fits. Now I'm not probably going to need all of that yellow, but I'm going to roll that yellow around until I've made a little burrito. Okay, so now I'm going to cut. All right, and so now I need to close it up. And I'm just going to trim off the edge there. Move these out of the way. And I'm going to roll it up. Okay, so it's red on the inside and it's yellow on the outside. I'm going to set that down right there. And that's your basic bullseye. You can cut out little slices of the bullseye and you have a little dot. Okay, so let's say you want to do more with that. Maybe just a dot's not exciting to you. All right, let's try something else. Again, I'm going to make another worm with the red. And I'm just going to pinch it a little bit and then roll it out. Fold that in half because it's a little too skinny. All right. So I'm going to put this to the side. And I'm going to divide this bullseye up into pieces. Okay. So I'm going to take this bullseye and I'm going to cut it. And each cut is going to be a petal of a flower. So if I do 3, then there's 3 petals. If I do 4, then there's 4 petals. So I am just, since I don't have my ruler, I'm going to cut it in half. And then I'm going to try and cut each half in half. And I'm just going to eyeball it. All right. And see how that looks. Okay, so then I can sort of put them together like that. All right, and then I'm going to cut all of these in half. All right, so now I'm going to take this little worm and cut it. That's going to be the center of my flower. I'm going to take each of these little petals I made, I'm just going to pinch them to make a petal shape. All right, so there's one. I'll take this one and pinch it. And there's 2. My next one, pinch. So I'm going to keep doing that all the way around. So I'm going to set this here so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to pinch, pinch, pinch. I'm just pinching to make petal shapes. Pinch and pinch. Okay, so the pointy part is going on the inside. And then the rounded edge is going on the outside. I'm going to go all the way around that little worm that I made. Okay. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to squeeze them together and roll them into sort of a circle shape. And as you roll it, your design gets a little bit smaller. And you can see the ends distort a little bit. So you won't really see that little flower until after I cut it. So I'll slice it here in a moment. And like I said, those funny edges, I like to do more abstract things like I did with this heart. All right, so I'm just going to slice it so you can see that. You can see how you have the central and then all the little dots going around it. So it sort of looks like a flower. Now this one, because I didn't put anything in between the petals, the petals sort of blended together. If you want it to be a little bit more distinct, you can actually put another color sort of in between the petals, and that'll give you a little bit more distinct of a flower. But I was trying to keep it simple for you. So if you're making canes, you can see on this one, you know, I have a few more colors, so it looks a little more flowery. But then what you're going to do is you can take your little slices. We have a slice there. And you can line up your slices. And I can go back to my little bullseye here. And you can start making patterns. And let me get a little close up there so you can see what I'm doing. So you make different slices and different patterns. So I'm going to share some of the finished things that I've done. The earrings that I'm wearing were made that way with slices of cane that I created. I also made a necklace. So I've got my little flower cane in the middle. You can see how I added that blue to separate the petals. And some more of that same cane was used to make beads on the necklace. And I made a little matching bracelet and some earrings. And to get them shiny like that, I use something called UV resin, which makes it nice and shiny. You can also use floor polish or, you know, like a clear acrylic coating. All right, that's a different cane that I did. So you can see I have two that are sort of flowery, and then what's called a jelly roll, where you just take your colors and you just roll them up. That's another easy one, and I'll show you that one in just a minute because that's easy. Here's another earring that I did similar to the ones that I'm wearing. And this is a barrette, so I just use the resin to glue it to the barrette. So you can get a close up of that. So I've been just having fun. Here's a pendant that I did that sort of matches those other earrings that I showed you. So I've been having fun with this idea of making canes. So I'm going to show you one more, and I'm just about out of time. So you just would stack them up one on top of the other. And then just roll it. And there's actually a food called jelly roll that does just that. So you can see it starts to make a swirl. And then of course you'd have to tighten it up and slice it up. And that's about all the time I have. So enjoy your holiday. Thanks for checking in with art, and I'll see you next week. Bye.